A warm bike is a happy bike. Shit. The troublesome part about letting the bike warm up before you leave the house a little bit is the engine gets warm, and then you have to remember that the tires are still cold. And on days like today, it's a little bit difficult to get the tires warmed up. As you can see, that wasn't very much throttle, and that was enough to induce traction control. Which, by the way, is a really nice thing to have on a bike like this. Not that anybody really cares, because motorcycles are just death anyway. But I think it's an important thing to note that even if you get on a bike like this, something with traction control can make this a really doable thing. Floridian. There we go. Thank you, lady. About fucking time. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus, lady. Holy fuck. God, this corner is so slick. God, they can't even get straight line traction anymore. It's also probably because my tire's a little bit on the way out. So let's not be too much of a dick. Be nice and easy. Gentle, gentle. Gentle, 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 gentle. Alright, well anyway. I got some traffic here. I am going to help a friend do a little bit of work on his car. So I thought I would take the bike, and since I'm taking the bike, I thought I'd put the GoPro on and go ahead and show you guys a thing or two about riding a motorcycle. So anyway, this is a sport bike. It's a leader bike. I think in terms of a sport bike, the leader bike's probably I don't know what to call it. It's just like, it's kind of the standard of the sport bike world. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's you know, you think of a 600 as more of like a beginner bike, and I mean, as far as riding goes, there's nothing better than having a sport bike, I think. There's lots of people that'll disagree, and they'll say the riding position's uncomfortable for extended riding. I don't know, man. I like to go out and I like to put some hours in, and I like to, you know, blast it out a little bit, and it's it's the bike to do it on. I mean, when you get into a bike that's a bit more comfortable, you make it, there are some inherent performance trade-offs to that. So it just kind of is what it is. But whatever, it's just a motorcycle today. And that's all I want this to be for you, is just a motorcycle and just a riding experience. I mean, look around, look at the leaves changing and everything. The sun's out, it's really, really beautiful out. I could probably go and ride all day. All day. Come on, lady, I want to feel the freedom. But anyways, alright, I'm going to try. The hard part is, you know, on a bike like this, everything feels really slow. And you look around and you see all these trees and such. And it's so beautiful, and it's hard not to get distracted. But it's also easy to stay focused on the road when you don't have somebody that's going real slow in front of you. Like this lady. Slow lady. Going super slow. Oh yes, lady. Out of the way. exercise. Motorcycle can't exercise anywhere. Oh, Toyota Sequoia. The Japanese answer to American SUVs. Those fucking lousy Americans with their crappy SUVs. Let's give them a big SUV and make it cheaper. Just cheap enough for them to buy it and be like, this is more efficient. Alright, now focus. Crosswalk, see? You gotta watch, you gotta look. You gotta be like other people coming? Nope. Another crosswalk up here. Let's see. Nobody on that side. Somebody that already went through on that side, so we're good to go. Good to go. Alright, we'll just go quick and direct, quick and direct, quick and direct, quick and direct, quick and direct. Gotta go the right way. Gotta go every day right way. Go, 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 go. Oh, so yeah, so motorcycle. We were supposed to be talking about motorcycle. I guess for what it's worth, this is George. And George is a pretty good ass motorcycle. Dude, believe it or not, George has fucking modes for your moods, dude. I swear to God. Do you think that's like... I mean, I know people tend to personify motorcycles, and it's like... You know, everybody thinks it's a little bit... Well, I don't know what people really think, but presumably people think it's a little bit weird when you personify a motorcycle. But like, check it out. Look, George legitimately does have modes for your moods. He's got a mode button. So you can tap the mode button and select between a few modes. Just clutch in. Okay, so now George is sad and sedate because he's in rain mode. And in rain mode, dude, you like, it's seriously no fucking tears. You basically have to be retarded and try to get into an accident in rain mode when you're riding a motorcycle like this because of the traction control. Observe. A little bit of throttle, one hand. Like no problemo. Because all the electronics take over, and it's literally, it stops in a nice straight line on a fucking dime. That is amazing. That is truly amazing. You know how ham-footed you could be and still stop this bike properly without getting into any trouble? That is utterly fantastic. Oh my God, but the power decrease is unbelievable once you get used to the full fat. Because it drops the horsepower back. If I recall, it's about 40 horsepower. I think it dials it back to around 150 horsepower, which is still obnoxious, don't get me wrong. That's an insane amount of horsepower for a bike that only weighs about 450 pounds or so. That's literally like way too much power. But the nice part about that is with all that power, the bike is still unbelievably fast. And it's unbelievably fast because in rain mode, it won't let the bike wheelie, it won't let the bike spin the tire, it won't let the bike stoppy, it won't let the bike do anything sketchy or weird. Well anyways, in rain mode the power delivery is dialed back, so there is less horsepower, so there's a little bit less torque, yada yada. You know, all those things are quite natural, but there's also a throttle delay. From what I've read through the manual, it's described as a 5% throttle delay. So I guess as you input into the throttle, it delays the throttle response by a factor of 5%. I don't know what the hell that refers to, if it's 5% longer like duration or what the deal is. It really doesn't matter. The point is it just softens the throttle a little bit, so you have to almost be overly deliberate with it, which is good, because if you're going to learn to ride a bike, that's the best way to do it. You don't want a machine that's completely unhinged. You want something that's going to encourage you to push it a little bit, to push yourself. So like even in second gear here, as we're going a little bit slow, The idea is to be feeling for the throttle all the time, always feeling for the throttle, as well as the brakes and the suspension and everything else. But I mean, when you're accelerating, there's a lot of acuity to feeling what the bike is doing vis-a-vis the engine and the throttle, because the throttle is what controls the engine. Pretty cool, right? But anyways, as I was saying, just get it down here. We'll come over this bump. That was full throttle coming over the crest of a hill, and the traction control immediately comes in and brings the front end down. Wonderful. Sir. Moto Guzzi. But anyways, full throttle. Again, you could whack it, and on flat ground like that, it won't even lift the front end up. That's fantastic. I mean, literally, that hill back there, when I throttled on, if you didn't have traction control, if you just did that on a regular bike, you would have been over backwards and on your ass. And that's not fun. Not fun at all. Oh my god, that is a one yellow ass truck.